Oh, this pippin starting to pip. This one anyway, starting.
Well, it's Saturday morning and thank goodness the heat has finally left us, at least for the foreseeable on the forecast that we can see anyway. So we are going to have a look around and see what it's left us with. We have got some time off coming up, so we've got some good jobs to get planned. I've got a week left of the paid job before 2 weeks off, and Stephen's got 2 weeks left before he has 1 week off. So we thought it was the perfect time to have a look around and see what jobs we want to be getting on with, because there's actually only 19 weeks left of 2026.
So as you can see, after the heat waves we've been having, some of the ground has suffered a lot more than others. We haven't had it as bad up here in the northeast as a lot of other parts of the country, but we've still been hit pretty hard in certain areas. I mean, the part behind me there where the lambs and the sheep are, that's just totally barren. There's no grass on there whatsoever. The leaves have already started falling off the trees. We're nowhere near autumn, and we're having to start dipping into our winter stock with hay to start feeding Dexter and some of the lambs. They're not really that bothered, the lambs, at the minute. They are faring pretty well on the land that we've got, but Dexter, he's not really got much. It doesn't look as bad on camera as it actually is, but he hasn't really got that much grass in the field. So we're just going to take a barrow of hay in for him now, and then we'll have a look around and show you the rest of the place. Right, Dexter, here's your breakfast. There you go, son. There you go.
So as you can see, Dexter's come straight over and he's starting to eat his hay, which tells me he's ready for it. As Stephen said, the lambs have had some. They're not too bothered by it, so they are less so. But even though we actually have green grass left, which many people around the country don't, and genuinely we feel so sorry for what's happening. It's horrific, especially with the blue tongue outbreak as well. It's just awful when you start looking into it. But from our point of view, even though the grass is still got green parts in it, it's not growing at all, so there's nothing extra here coming for him to be able to graze on. And we've noticed that all of the farmers around are also feeding their winter hay already, so we are going to be giving some thought as to what we need to be ordering in, so we'll come to that soon. But as you can see, even though there still is some length on some of it, it's just got nothing in it for him. It's dry as sticks. So yeah, we're going to keep on topping him up. We're not putting him on hard feed yet, and then we'll see how long he's going to need that for and how long he's going to stay with us, because we don't have an exact date on that at the moment either.
So we're just at Sonic's little hospital paddock area where we've been extending over the last few weeks to give him a bit of extra more and more space, because we don't want him to get too much grass all at once. We have come to the end of the row before our ground dips into that natural dip there, so we're not going to go any further that way, and we're going to extend it today and bring it out this way into the field, and that'll be his last extension. It'll give him a little bit more grass, a little bit more space, but it'll also act coming into the winter as a winter turnout for him, because we don't want him on the whole field, churning the whole field when we actually finally get some rain. So that'll do 2 jobs, and it's a job we need to get done today.
That does lead us on to thinking about what we're going to do with Dexter over the winter if he is here, because as Stephen says, ideally this field needs a complete rest. So we may just put him in the paddock and sacrifice the paddock, which is just a really small area, but big enough for him, and just feed him his hay and his hard feed in there, rather than giving him the whole of the field. So that's another thing that we need to give some thought to over the next weeks.
So just while we're down in the field, and it's the height of summer, it's a perfect time to identify which of our trees are dead and which ones are going to be cut down for the log burner for the winter. So we've got 6 trees, as you can see behind us, where the first few years of living here when we were clueless, still are some things we do, but we put the sheep in and they've ate the bark around the bottom of some of the trees, which has killed them off over the years. So we've got 6 in here now. We can see clearly there's not a leaf on them and they're totally dried out. So we're going to plan to get them cut down, get them chopped up and get them stacked ready for, well, it probably won't be for this winter because we've got plenty for this winter, but for next winter and the following winter's coming.
You can see the field in the distance there. It's not ours with the cows in, but that is always just green. So it's grazed down to a millimetre. And these are the cows that we're referring to that are being topped up with winter hay by our neighbour farmer. So just alongside the trees that we've just identified as needing taken down, we do actually have something planned in August which is tree related. We'll come back to that then. But look at all the thistles that have obviously gone to seed, and all of this is the seeds on this. So we know that it's going to be another nightmare year for thistles, isn't it? So what's the plan?
We don't have one yet.
Okay. We're going to top this though, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, we'll get it all cut down and shifted out the way.
Thing is, when you've got kind of wild growing around us, we're never going to be weed free, no matter how hard we try. So we're just going to have to try and stay on top of it best we can. And this rickety old mess is the fence that was in here. You can't even see it beyond the thistles when we moved in, and Stephen has just made multiple different repairs to it over the years. It actually goes down here, down to the riverbank, in between all of these hawthorn bushes and trees that you can't see. That's the river on the other side of that, believe it or not. So this whole thing that we've just put up when the cows have got through, etc., needs to be replaced. Now that is an absolutely huge job, and given we can't get a spade in the ground at the moment, I don't think that'll be on the agenda anytime soon. You keeping an eye on us?
How long have these been now?
Hazelnuts.
8 years.
Yeah.
We've got one nut.
8 years later, we've got one nut. This is red hazelnut.
No, there's loads on this one.
Is there?
I don't want to stand on there. You see? Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think I've actually ever seen one.
Can you see them there?
Yeah, I can. In one of the storms we had, this tree came down on part of it, obviously only because otherwise it would have took the full thing out, came down on that fence. But here, oh, do you see that? Here, this is normally filled with water. This is the runoff into the river. I say the river. That's the, can you see it if I try and zoom in a little bit? That's the river. So this is what the cows are using, or normally use, to drink from. It's not happening at the moment, so goodness knows what the farmer's done to give them somewhere to drink. Right, so another thing, an immediate, is this area here is obviously on a huge slope, and you can see the fence has come off here from the cows itching, and actually, my goodness, that fence post is completely bent, Stephen. So there's a fence post up there that's completely bent. Yeah. So the cows come on the other side, and Dexter talks to them over this side, and obviously one or other has done that. But this here that Stephen's trying to repair is what we'd blocked up to stop the sheep getting in. So this, as I say, there's a big slope there, and Stephen had put a temporary fix in, which has obviously fell through or been pulled through or whatever, I'm not sure, but good luck, Steve.
We'll have to get some wood and screw it into these posts. And
another one for the jobs list, repair the field.
I knew we shouldn't have come for a walk around here.
So this bit's come off the top here, which I don't know if you can put that on by hand or if you need a tool for it. Oh no, easy. But this bit's really bent. Goodness me. I mean, that's bent this way, hasn't it? Rather than, unless Dexter's been on this side of it. And
crawling around here like a... Well, that has to do for today until we make a permanent fix.
Right, where were we? This is the technical method for straightening fence posts.
Well, just straight as it's going to be for now.
I'm surprised.
So as you can see, the pigs area has suffered quite drastically in this heat. It's an absolute dust bowl, and our plan was, before the heat came, was to extend it, but we didn't expect the heat to last this long, the drought to last this long, and we just literally cannot get a post in the ground. We just use the whacker with the round posts, and it's just impossible. You can't even get it 3 inches in. So the plan is, when we get a bit of wet weather again and the ground softens up a bit, we're going to take this metal panel off here, take a section of this fence out and extend it out into the field, so probably to 30 foot that way to where Tracy is, and then coming right back up to halfway in between the paddock and the field, and then we'll fence all this off. It'll be totally solid. There won't be any gates or anything like that in it, so it should be a quick job once we can get onto it to extend it out. But like I say, it's weather permitting, and it's just not permitting us to do it at the minute. I know, pigs. So we came down the other night and finished off the pig ark, blocked up all the front to keep them nice and toasty, give them another load of straw in there, which we'll give them another top up today. Just boarded up the front, screwed it all down, nailed it all in, so it's absolutely solid. That's not going anywhere, and I must say they look a lot happier for it, because none of them are going in their little pen anymore, which they were in, and it was getting a bit tight. But another job that is on the list, now they've been down here and they've rooted around and they've uncovered all these big rocks and everything, it's not very comfortable for them to walk in, so I'm going to get Jack to give us a hand, come down with a couple of barrows, and we'll just go around, hand pick up all the stones, give it a rake, make it all nice and comfortable for them to run about in, and get rid of all them. So that's another job on the list. I'm starting to think we shouldn't have came for a walk around this morning. Hello, pig. Oh, you're a big girl. You're a big girl. And you.
Right, by the ducks here, you might actually see hiding behind that tree in the corner next to the 2 runner ducks is a Rhode Island Red. I'm going to talk about those next. But yeah, she's living with them just at the moment. So here we've got 4 white Aylesbury ducks, Aylesbury Cross Pekin they actually are, I think, and 2 runner ducks. And we're getting a maximum of 1 egg a day, and that's off the runner ducks. So we do have decisions that we need to make about the ducks moving forward, because at the moment we are just feeding them to be kept as pets, and obviously that's not going to work from a cost point of view, or from what we're trying to actually achieve here on the small holding. So that's on the decision list, I'm afraid. So back where we started, en route to talk to you about the Rhode Island Red chickens, or the chickens in general, and just going past the lambs on the bit of grass that we were saying is barren. As I said, there is some green here, but not that much. Now, the lambs are going to be with us for another few months, but they're still thriving really, really well. So thank goodness, all is looking good, touch wood, on that front.
Well, on the way back up to the Rhode Island Reds, we've just come into the meat bird area. This has been unoccupied, as you can see. Cobb Cottage is closed at the moment. It's been unoccupied now since we done them about 2 weeks ago, and nothing's been in here and grazed it, and you can just see the difference in the grass. I mean, this area is totally surrounded by trees, so it doesn't get any like direct sun really, unless midday when it's really high in the sky over there, and it's absolutely thriving. So this will stay like this for another 3 or 4 weeks. We have just picked up some more meat birds for our next batch. They're about 4 days old now. They're in the garage, but it'll be another few weeks before they get to come outside. Also, as you can see behind me, we've got a few dead trees in here. There's one there, there's 2 behind Tracy, so they're to come out and to go in the pile for the winters ahead. So that's another couple of jobs for this area. Every tree that we do take out, we are planning on replacing. So that's going to be in another video, what we're going to talk about, what we're doing with tree wise. But yeah, that's it for this area. If only the rest of the land would look like this.
Now, honestly, we are going to the Rhode Island Reds, but we keep getting distracted, and there's a lesson there, I'm sure. This is Dexter's pen that Stephen built maybe last year, I think. I'll have to double check that. And he's used that over the winter gone and into this year, and it's been absolutely fantastic. But as we've just said in the field a few minutes ago, we will be planning on using this for him for as long as he's here, but also for the sheep overwintering. Actually, that's a very good point. Just thought of that one. This needs a clean out is basically where I'm coming from. So this needs to be on the list soon. It needs to be done by the middle of September, I would have said at the latest.
Right, well, we've just come into our orchard area where we keep our Rhode Island Reds and a couple of other breeds. We've got some lavender aracunas there and one cream leg bar. But unfortunately, we're getting no eggs whatsoever out of this pen now. Well, I say no eggs. We're getting 2 out of 14 girls. So unfortunately, we're in a bit of a pickle. We don't just want to keep them and just keep feeding them for the sake of it, because we're going through a lot of feed and we're getting nothing for it, and it's costing us a fortune. So we have got some eggs in the incubator now, which are Welsummer eggs, and the really good layers which we've got, which are hybrid ones over there. So we're thinking of going down that route. So we have managed to rehome 3 or 4 of them. We might manage to get homes for more of them going forward, but it does leave us in a bit of a dilemma of what to do with them. We enjoy having the Rhode Island Reds here on the Smallholding, but we don't really keep anything on here as pets. Everything has to have its use, because it's just throwing away money otherwise. So we are going down the egg layer route with the, like I said, with the Welsummers and them rogue ones there, which are just hybrids, and they're really good egg layers. And basically we're just getting eggs off them anyway. So if these weren't here, it wouldn't affect us in the egg production. So yeah, like I say, we're in a bit of a dilemma. We don't know what to do. We'll leave them for the next week or so and then decide going forward.
So we will keep you posted on what we decide to do with the Rhode Island Reds. My view is I would absolutely love them as a true smallholding bird, but like Stephen said before, we did do the test with them for raising them for meat birds. Wasn't as successful as we hoped it would be, and they're not laying eggs like, well, basically like they used to. Obviously that's to do with age and things like that. And when we did breed them, we tried to sell a load and people just weren't interested. Now, we've got some Welsummers. The girls have all ran inside, but the cockerel's just down to the side of Stephen there. And when we bred those and sold those, they sold like hotcakes, possibly because you can sex them at birth by some of the markings that they've got. And that's kind of why we've got ours in the incubator at the moment. But I don't know, it's a really difficult decision, harder than normal for those, because we really like having them around, and I don't like the idea of not having Rhode Island Reds on the Smallholding, because that's where we started ultimately. But anyway, these guys in here are covered up. You might have seen that vlog where Stephen and I did this, or Stephen and Jack did this. Reason that they've got the netting or the roof on is because they are so flighty, they can escape from anywhere. But that's also the same for the Welsummers that we've got coming. The ones that are in here don't have a net on, and they haven't jumped over just yet, but I think the youngsters, when they turn up, they might well do. The plan is to get everything back together at some point, but we need to figure out how we can get them contained once we've decided what to do with these Rhode Island Reds.
Right, well, we've come down to make a start on these big boulders in here in the pig pen. So we've brought them some distraction, so we've got to get in and out. Well, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but that's about 10 barrows of rocks and boulders and wood and bits of stuff that they've uncovered, all shifted and put over the fence there out the way, so just a bit more safer for them to run about, and they won't be twisting their legs or anything on any boulders. So that's one good job done anyway. Well, it's Wednesday night, just doing the last checks before we go to bed. Just come in the garage, which we've transformed into a nursery for the time being. So just coming in to check on our chicks, because we've got some new arrivals. The eggs that we put in the incubator, we've had an excellent hatch rate out of them, and these are the results of them in this pen here. We've got our second batch of meat birds in the pen next to them. They're just a week old, and these ones here have all hatched in the last couple of days, so they're 1, 2 and 3 days old. So as you can see here, we've got a mixed batch. So these chipmunk looking coloured ones, these are our Welsummers. They're excellent egg layers, and you can sex them at birth. So these darker coloured ones with the dark eyes and the thick stripes down the back, they're the females. So I think we've got 7 females, which is absolutely brilliant, and we've got 3 or 4 males I think we've got out of them. Like this one running over here, this one's a male. You can see he's lighter in colour, he hasn't got the darker eyes, so that one's going to be a male. So we've got about 3 or 4 of them, which is good, because we can pick the best strong cockerels and keep them as our breeding stock. All the rest, the black ones, the little yellow ones that you can see over there, they're just a pick and mix of anything, so we won't know which is a hen or a cockerel until they're about 8 to 10 weeks and we can tell off them. But super happy with these. We've got 20 in this pen and we've got 2 in the little brooder in the house because one of them was a bit unsteady on its legs, so we've just left it in the house under the heat plate with a little companion. We're giving that water, food, just get it, built its strength up, and it's looking pretty good today when I came home from work, so we'll probably transfer that in with these tomorrow, and then they'll live out in here for a few weeks till they get big and strong, because we've got a project on outside, which now we know all these have hatched, we're going to sort out our old birds, which we keep, and we're going to mix and match, put them different places, we're giving some to friends, and then we're going to clean all out that pen that they're in, but that's not going to happen probably till the weekend, till they're perched, we can get in there, get them picked out and get them sorted. But for now, we're super happy with the hatch, and we'll be happy growing them on for our next lot of egg layers. Right, well, back in the barn for another chicken update. So, as you guys know, we've been taking stock over the past few weeks of our egg production, and we've got a hell of a lot more chickens than we're getting eggs. So we've been separating them out, see who's laying, see who's not, and we think we've got it cracked. No pun intended. So we've got 14 girls that aren't giving us the eggs that we need. So now we've got the chicks and we've got replacements for them. We know we've got plenty of hens in the clutch that we've just hatched. They'll be our replacements for these girls. So we've got 14 girls that we needed to either rehome or go in the freezer. We didn't really want to put them in the freezer. It's a bit of a waste because you don't get a lot on them. They're not a meat bird, they're predominantly just for eggs. So luckily for them, we've managed to move them on. They're going to some lovely homes, so we're quite happy where they're going. There's 2 cockerels which will go in the freezer because nobody wants cockerels, unfortunately. So they'll be going in the freezer, which gives us a perfect opportunity to revamp the pen that they're in here. It's getting a bit old, it's getting a bit tired. It's been about 3 or 4 years we've had this now. The roof's all coming down, so once we get them gone this afternoon, we're going to take the roof off, take all the internal structures out, the perches and the egg and the nest boxes and everything, and I've got a plan to put a new roof over the whole thing. It'll tidy it all up, put some new perches in. The others won't be coming in here for another 4, 6, 8 weeks, we don't know yet, depending on how big they get, but that'll give us plenty of time to get all this revamped, ready for the new residents.
Just as part of handing them over, we've got some diatomaceous earth, which Stephen's just going to douse them in. But it's a very strange feeling coming in here without a single chicken in. They have all now gone to their new homes. Well, the first lot have gone, the next ones that we put in that stable next door going shortly, but there's only a couple of those. Really nice to see them and hear about where they're going to end up, and it sounds like they're going to be pampered. So really pleased that they've got the new homes instead of the alternative, really. So what's going to happen in here, Stephen alluded to it this morning, it's a little bit tired, it's a little bit ready for a revamp. So he's going to basically clear the whole thing, including the infrastructure that's in here as well. I'm not sure if we mentioned or not, whether Stephen did, but this bedding we put in, and it was all lovely and clean and done for them. This is actually wood shavings from the bookcases that we got made, which we'll show you at some point. And for whatever reason, they don't like it. They won't go on it at all. So we're going to have a rethink about that. Maybe the next ones will, which is actually what this is going to be. So when Stephen has done the full revamp, the full tidy out, clean, trying to rat proof it again and all of those things, when they're ready to, the chicks that we've hatched will end up coming into here. So they'll be in here for the winter accommodation. And on the other side of this barn wall is where we normally open the hatch and let them go out to roam. That's going to get a rest now because there's not going to be anything on it, obviously. So Stephen's going to go out there. He'll show you what he's doing, but essentially we're going to try and actually get some grass growing again outside there. We did have a little bit of rain the other day, so we'll see what we're dealing with when we go out. But he's going to get some seeds sown, but he'll show you all of that when he gets to do it. Goodness me, it seems that the heat wave has returned. It is absolutely scorching again, and of course Stephen and I are dressed up more for winter because it was down to 7, I think, this morning, 7 degrees. Celsius. Anyway, in here I have been working on getting this a little bit more under control because we had that watermelon plant and we've got a crop off it. I'm going to show you exactly what that crop is now. I hope crop is the word for a single watermelon plant. Can it be? Anyway, sorry, watermelon, not watermelon plant. That is what we've got. So we are going to tuck into that and enjoy every single morsel of it. Hopefully it's tasty, but this is what the rest of the greenhouse is now looking like, because that watermelon plant was in the back right over there and was completely swamping everything. So I've whipped it out and I've took the bottom leaves off the tomatoes. I've harvested a bunch of tomatoes, which I'll show you in a sec. And you can see there's quite a few cherry tomatoes there that are ready for harvesting, which are beautiful. But at least it's a little bit more under control. And the chickens in the background there are quite happy munching on the watermelon plant that's come out. So these are the tomatoes. These are the Super Mama, and this is a different variety. I can't remember exactly what that is. That was the only one that was ready off that plant. These are going to be for preserving, really. So there's our harvest from the greenhouse this morning.
Right, well, that's a good job done, all cleaned, all hoovered. Yes, we have hoovered it. So all we have to do now is diatomaceous surf the whole thing. We've took the roof off, and then we're going to design a new layout. We've identified which bits worked with the old one and not, and then it's totally blank slate. So we're going to create a new chicken heaven for the new chicks that are going to take up residence in here, get a new roof on. But like I say, now we're just going to diatomaceous surf the whole thing and get out of here while it all settles. Right, well now it's all cleaned out and all prepped and all the dust settled, we're going to look at putting a new roof on. We've just covered them with these random nets just to stop the hens, because we get flighty hens as well as big hens and you can't keep them in normally. So we just put these nets on, held them up with some rope so we've got the height inside. But they're looking a bit tired, so we thought we'd go the full hog and put a whole new roof on. So we got rid of an old polytunnel frame years ago and I kept all the poles off them. So I've just measured up, this is the idea we've come up with. We're going to put this long ways across there like a frame, like that, and then we're going to use the rest of the poles and the rest of the fixtures and fittings, which are here, to make it have 3 beams there and 3 beams there, and cover the whole length, and then we'll get some net when we measure up, and we'll just cover the whole thing. It'll just be one big roof. It'll be really nice and high, very spacious, and we can do what we want with it. If we get any birds that are flighty, it won't matter because they'll never get out with a bit of luck. So I'm going to be getting on with that for the next few days, and hopefully when you come back in the next video it'll have a whole new roof on and it'll look a whole lot different.